the Wednesday afternoon session of my online Bible study. And something that we've been looking at, we're still in the Gospel, we're in the Gospel of Luke, and we're in chapter 1. We finally, after 5 weeks, have finished chapter 1 of Luke's Gospel, because there's just that much in it. And one of the things that we've been looking at is John the Baptist, and how we can see that he was called to his ministry. He was prepared for his ministry all the way from even before he was conceived. That the archangel Gabriel comes to Zechariah before before John is even conceived, his son John is even conceived, and says that he's going to have this child and who's going to be a prophet of the Most High. Zechariah, after John is born, and when he is named, he begins to sing this canticle that says that his son will go before the face of the Lord, will be the forerunner of the Lord, will be the forerunner of Christ, and will have this ministry, this prophetic ministry. But one of the points that we were talking about was the fact that when God chooses these people for these tasks, these roles, these parts in his plan for salvation, he doesn't do this randomly. And he doesn't just pick somebody because they happen to be around at the time. That they are called and prepared from the time they are born. God says this to the prophet, that before you were born, I knew you and called you, to Jeremiah. And so this is it for John the Baptist. We see this in the Eastern Orthodox tradition when we look at the life of Mary, same thing, that all these people are not just the closest and handy people, most available people, but that these ministries and these roles in God's plan have been established from much longer, from the past, from the time that they were born, the time that they were brought into the world. They have this place, they have this part to play in the greater plan of salvation. And that's important, because we all have our own calling. Some are callings to greatness, some are callings to much more simple things. Most of them really are callings to much more simple things. But from the time that we were conceived in our mother's wombs, there was a part that God had for us in his plan. And we need to prayerfully open ourselves to that. Sometimes those things are obvious, sometimes they surprise us, but regardless of what it is, that we are open to what God has called us to do. And even when it's something that is hard for us to accept and understand, like it was for Mary to accept that she was going to be the mother of the Messiah, that we would be obedient to his will, and in this way we would be co-workers with God in celebrating his Christ and in building his kingdom in this world. Because may God's kingdom come, may his will be done on earth as it is in heaven. That's our job, and each of us from the time we were conceived has a part to play in it. Take care. God bless.